Hey everyone, welcome to our Real Review series. We're NoteBeats CG Academy. I'm Harris Wu, and I'm here with Siting Liu and Chen Ji. In this series, we're going to break down rigging and the CFX rules to help you understand what makes a good portfolio for landing a job in our industry. This is an ongoing, completely free series, so if you want us to review your work, feel free to send us your reel anytime you want. And if you find this is helpful, make sure to subscribe and share it. It will help us a lot. Before we get started, just a quick note. Everything we share here is based on our own experience and personal opinion, and it doesn't represent any studio we have worked with. So let's get started. Today we're going to review Justin's rigging reel. Big thanks to Justin for sharing his work with us. Let's take a look at his reel first. Alright, let's start the review. Overall, this is a good start. We can see that you have many experience in mechanical rigging and also have some Python tools. There are some presentation aspects that could be improved, so let's go through them one by one. Let's start with Chen Chen.
Hi, I think this is a really good rigging reel. I have some ideas. First one is usually we need to show the rigging technique skill, Python script skill, and anatomy knowledge in the rigging reel. But for the first character here, I think the first character is too simple. And the body shader is black, make it difficult to see the deformation. I think we need a better model to show the deformation and anatomy knowledge here. And another thing is the character just stand there. So it will be better if you can show the rigging feature in some extreme poses. That will be better. And also the background to me is too bright and the color of the control too bright. So I think you will lose the viewer attention. Yeah, that's all from me. Thanks.
Alright, what about City?
Hi. I would say overall it's quite interesting, this reel. In the first rig, the facial setup looked pretty interesting. You said you use projection to project all the eyes and the mouth. So it would be good to show the node connection graph on the side about how you set up this in Maya. Another thing I would say is the character is too stylized. You barely see this kind of character in production. You want to make a character which you can prove to those studios you can do what they have in daily production. It would be better for you to get a standard CG character rig in your demo reel. Another thing is scripting. So the tool you are showing is actually IKFK blend setup. It is more than IKFK switch. IKFK switch is a button click when you want to switch IK mode to FK mode, or you want to switch FK to IK mode. This tool is actually showing IKFK blend setup in Maya, so it's really more than just switching. You have to change the description here. Another thing is the second scripting tool. You could add more description on the side to indicate what can this ribbon do, and it would be better to show it applies to the actual model in the rig. That's all from my side.
Alright, thanks for Chen Chen and City. Those are all really good feedbacks. Yeah, so overall for your reel, my impression is like you have too many mechanical rigs. So let's say you have this guy, and you have this guy, and you have this guy. So you have three of them. I think that's too much. And also, in general, your mechanical rig is not that complicated. So my suggestion is like we only keep the first one because the first one, the model looks more complicated than the other two, and also it has a good texture. So it has the potential to have a better presentation than the other two. And the other thing I would say, similar to what Chen Chen mentioned to your first character, in general, all of your rigs showing with textures, and also you have a way colorful controllers showing at the same time, which makes it very hard for us to focus on your rig itself. For example, for this rig, if we zoom in, we can see here there's a wire here, and there's a piece here, and there's some other plate and the other plate here and here. But once we show the texture, we show the controllers here, we cannot see any of those details. So even if you rig those with complicated setup, it's going to be very hard for us to notice what you did, right? So in general, for mechanical rig, what we want to see is how those pieces could interact with each other when you start to move the controller. So for example, let's say if we move the leg up, then there are going to be some wire here, maybe some plate, and also here we have plate, here we have plate. How are they going to interact without major intersection? That's going to be the thing we want to see for mechanical rig. And then if you have any special setup on this part, this is a good chance for you to present your unique setup to show your technical skills. And then the other thing I want to mention to you is about your car rig. So all of our rigs have some limitation and might have some broken parts. That's totally fine. But the bottom line is you don't want to show in your rig. So here when you start to present your squash deformation, you want to be more careful about this because here we can see the rim is already deformed, right? So it never happened for a real car. And also because you already rendered, so we can see here we have the shadow here. So your car tire is actually floating on top of the ground. So we definitely want to avoid those, right? All right, so that's it for our feedback on this reel. As we mentioned at the beginning, this is a good start. With some adjustment in presentation, I'm sure it can be improved even further. Big thanks to Justin for sharing your work with us, and thanks everyone for watching. We hope this was helpful. If you found this is useful, don't forget to share and subscribe. And if you'd like us to review your reel as well, feel free to send it over anytime. See you in the next one.